Hi, my name is Malcolm Gladwell. Well, I didn't think about this. I have mixed feelings about being Conan O'Brien's friend.
Wait a minute. Why would you say that? I'm a huge admirer of your work.
No, I like that. No. I mean that. This requires some. Can I do a long explanation of why I have?
Yes, but is it going to be another book?
No. Short. And I hope you take this in the right spirit.
Okay.
I walk in and you come and say hello to me, and I see the famous hair, and I feel like you, for your entire career, have been the king of the flamboyant hair club. You've been and I'm someone who has flamboyant hair.
Yes.
All of us have looked towards you.
Thank you.
As a kind of leader in the flamboyant hair.
Thank you.
And I look, and it's not that flamboyant today.
No.
And I felt a little let down. I was like, here I was to get a kind of dose, a kind of feeling that I'm on the right track, that when I let the whole fro thing go crazy, there's someone else out there doing it from the Irish perspective. And
yeah, I have an Irish fro.
You do.
That's what it's called.
But those famous, it's just kind of.
I'll tell you exactly what's going on.
What's going on?
And again, this could be a book for you, Malcolm Gladwell. This could be a book, but unintended consequences. You write about all these kinds of things. You know, what's really happening behind a phenomenon that we all take for granted. What's really happening? My hair is very susceptible to the weather, and there needs to be some moisture in the air. And I'm really not kidding. My hair is a barometer. So when I'm in places like Seattle, Boston, where I'm from, when there's some humidity in the air, my hair is absolutely fantastic.
It's on fire.
It's big and springy, and it shoots out. And then so moisture in the air is the Viagra for my pompadour.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but I'm trying to use a medical terminology.
Are you insinuating that you have thousands upon thousands of tiny little erections growing out of your head?
You have to say little, but sure. But what I'm saying is today it's been very dry. And I'm noticing lately, I get up in the morning and my hands are like scales and my hair is just collapsed onto my head.
Yeah.
And I could have done artificial things to pump up my hair this morning, but I didn't want to do that.
What artificial things?
What do you mean?
Does that mean?
Various chemicals and balms. But I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Malcolm, I didn't want to be fake with you. So I come in and I could see your face.
Sense my disappointment.
Since you said shit, I'm unhappy out loud.
I didn't know. I wouldn't say I'm only. I should say I'm. My feelings of disappointment they're moderate. I'm not.
Wow, for me that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's just a little.
I'll take that.
It's just I came all pumped up.
Yep.
Because, like I said, in every generation has a kind of flamboyant hair leader. Einstein in his day.
Thank you.
Angela Davis in the 60s, right?
Yep.
We can go down the list. There's always someone, those of us who are trying to do something with our hair look towards.
I took a stand. My hair has never been the popular hairstyle. It basically is the Bob's Big Boy. It is, it's a combination of Elvis. It's the, star of Hawaii Five-0, Steve McGarrett.
Yes, a little Steve McGarrett. There was a lot of influences to my hair. It's got some rockabilly to it. And I let you down, and I apologize. Yeah, no,
and you're going to really admire, this is a professional level segue. You did not let me down because you've written another fantastic book, Revenge of the Tipping Point, where you revisit.
You're really anxious to change the subject from your hair, aren't you?
Well, because it's coming from a place of disappointment.
What?
And we're going to talk about the Revenge of the Tipping Point in just a second, but I wanted to start with something else that I just happen to know about your own life, which is that you're now in the world of being a parent.
I am.
And what fascinates me is that I'm obviously very impressed and intrigued by the way your brain works, and to be honest, somewhat intimidated. And then I come in today thinking, that's one area where I've got 21-year head start on Malcolm Gladwell.
You do.
What was that?
You do. No.
I do.
No,
and I feel like, yes. And not only you guys as well, we can kick this guy around with our knowledge of parenthood.
Yeah, we're better.
Yeah.
Is that no?
Sona, you took it too far.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But
I'm the newbie.
no, but you're such an original thinker. But before we even get into the book, part of me wanted to say, hey, what's your take on parenthood? Because I bet it's fairly original and unique.
No. In fact, the exact opposite. And the thing I realized really early was that every observation I had about my children, every other parent in the history of parenting had already had about their children. So my entire life, I had been burdened by the obligation of originality. The burden has now been lifted. And as a parent, I am free to say the most banal thing about my kids.
Great.
And everyone's like, oh yeah, that no one has ever said because I've turned into the person I once despised. All I do is show people pictures.
Yeah.
Nonstop. And by the way, in fact.
Oh, let me see.
There they are.
Oh my God. Beautiful. Look.
Adorable.
Oh my God.
Adorable.
they're
Adorable.
so
Okay.
cute.
Yeah, very, very cute. We could go on. I could sidetrack this whole thing. But no one has ever said when I make my observations, no. They always say, yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? I bet, like, oh, here's Malcolm Gladwell. Let's ask him about being a parent. You know, we're going to get this. And then you say, it makes you really tired. And people are like, what? What? This from Malcolm Gladwell? It can be challenging at times. It's rewarding, but also...
None of those things. But I do like, it's the secret club. You know, before you have kids, you're not a member of the club. And then you join the club, and it's like you get a whole new lease on life.
I had one thing that maybe I've said it to you guys, to Matt and Sona, but I try very hard not to tell first-time expecting parents any kind of, all right, let me tell you, have a seat.
Yeah.
And let me spin some wisdom for you. I always try and tell them, it's like trying to explain to someone who's never been immersed in water what that feels like. It is such a profound change in your life that you just need to go through it, and then you're going to look at me and nod.
Yeah.
But to try and sit and explain, the only way for someone to understand what it's like to be in a body of water is to jump in a body of water. And until you've done that, the greatest writers in the world cannot explain to you what that feels like.
Yeah.
And so you just have to go through it. The only advice I ever give is lots of video, because when they're 10, 15, 20 years from now, you are going to look at all of it over and over and over again.
Video that I'm taking of them. I thought you meant video that I'm showing them. Like
Lots of screen time. Just set them in front of an iPad.
I thought you were just saying.
Oh, no. You got it exactly. Specifically, VHS video. I think it should be all movies from the 80s and late 70s.
Lots of murder.
And just they should be... No, it'd be funny if that was my advice.
You know what?
Lots of screen time and high fructose corn syrup.